Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome in. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a great day. You're ready for day 3 of the NCAA tournament. After the next 2 days, we will figure out who's in the Sweet 16, and we'll be one step closer to crowning a national champion. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. We'll get into all the games here, chat about yesterday, and see where things are as we head into the weekend. Make sure you hit the like button and support the show. If you're new around here, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't ever miss any show that I do here on YouTube. Just a couple of things here, guys. Keep in mind, this will be the only show for today. We're probably going to do the next 2 days at 10 a.m. It's a great time. It's a great time to get on and get these games out before things start. So make sure you're checking out the show every day. Also, people have DM'd me about what I'm going to do after the tournament. I'm going to have a show every day for baseball. We'll go over the card each day. We'll take a look at the pitching matchups. We'll take a look at the lines. I'm definitely someone that bets baseball a little bit differently than a lot of people. So, we'll definitely get into that. Do a live show. I am doing a live show right now. Thanks, Robbie, Tony, Ben G, Anthony, Matt, Slim, Giuseppe, Adam, Matt. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, all of you. Do me a favor, retweet the show on Twitter. Listen, 5 people do that. We get 10, 20 people in here. That's people that didn't know the show was on. Every day we see people in here that are new. That's how they're getting the show, through retweets, through telling friends, all that kind of stuff. This channel is slowly getting more and more subscribers. Look, on this show, we get more views than channels that have 50,000 subscribers, and we all know who those are. It's just the truth of good info travels. I don't offer up any bullshit. I just come in here and talk about the games and keep it real and stay sucker free. To make sure you tell your friends about the show. There's a reason the big boys come to me to get a game breakdown because I give it to them. Thank you, Leroy. Appreciate that. What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking me out. All right, let's get into the show here. Want to get into the card here. We'll start off with Villanova. Actually, I'm sorry. Let's start in time. Let's start with the times first. Maryland taking on LSU. Maryland getting 2.5 here. There is a 3 out there, actually, guys. There's 2 3s out there. We're starting to see them pop up. $5 worth of 3 currently. Total at 145. And, I think the line movement's actually kind of going the way I feel like it should. I've made no secret. I don't like LSU. I bet against them a lot towards the end of the season. I bet against them in the first round with Yale, and they did exactly what I thought they would do. They blew a lead, and Yale was able to hang in the game, even with poor shooting through 3-point shots and little things. That's just what LSU does. They're not a good defensive team. It's that simple. But here's the problem I have with Maryland. They can't turn the basketball over. If Maryland doesn't turn it over, I think they can win. But the problem is this is such a young team, very little experience. They're one of the youngest teams in America. In fact, there's only 3 teams that are younger than Maryland. This is a team that, again, we've talked about young teams breed turnovers. If you look at all the young teams in America, let's say the bottom 25 youngest teams in America, it's almost safe to say they all turn the ball over at a high rate. When you're getting down into the nitty-gritty of this tournament, you cannot turn the ball over. You need those teams that have the ability to not make mistakes. And that's one of the reasons it was hard for me to think that Maryland can make a run. Winning 1 game, okay, but winning 2 or 3, I just don't see it. LSU, I think at the end of the day, I think this is a decent matchup for Maryland from a Biggs perspective. But I don't love Cowan. I don't love, the Maryland guards. They're good. They're not great. This is also not a particularly deep team. LSU can go a little bit deeper into the bench. I'd only be interested in LSU at 2.5. I wouldn't be interested in 3. This is not a game that's going to be on a premium card or anything. I just look at LSU and I think they are going to be able to do some things, I think, to bother this Maryland team. They're a team that force turnovers. They do a pretty nice job on the offensive glass. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Reed against Bruno Fernando and Jalen Smith. That's going to be fascinating. Big B Williams and Reed over Fernando and Smith. Look, I'll take Big B Williams and Reed. They're two terrific players. I think this is finally the game where LSU kind of, you're not have to lay 6 or 7 or 8. You only got to lay 2.5 here. It's not a crazy number. This is, to me, a spot where I think LSU finds a way. Again, though, I'm making this clear. This is not on my card. It's just a game I have my eye on. When am I coming to Chicago? I have no idea. I've never been to Chicago, so I can't. I can't comment on that. Anyone like Kentucky? Well, listen, we'll get to all the games. Yeah, exactly. Sucker free. That's what we do here. Staying sucker free. Do me a favor also. Again, like I said, retweet the show. Also, guys, want to tell you about my bookie real quick, just over the next 30 seconds. If you're in the market for a new book and you're looking to add in, make sure you're checking out my bookie. Or maybe you just you're wanting an online book and you don't know where to start. Check out mybookie.ag. MyBookie, a book with a lot to bet on. There's plenty of odds. There's great numbers. And there's the ability to get your money on there quickly and get your money off there quickly. You can get paid within 24 to 48 hours. You can bet with Bitcoin. You can withdraw with Bitcoin. They got all sorts of contests. They got plenty of odds. You can literally bet on anything at MyBookie. You want to bet on pinball? You can bet on pinball. You want to bet on politics? You can bet on politics. You want to bet on cricket or college basketball or boxing or golf? You can do it at mybookie.ag. If you use my promo code when you open your account, BMOC, you're going to get yourself a 50% deposit bonus. Again, promo code BMOC when opening your account. Let's say you put up $300, they're going to give you $150 free to bet. You want to bet on Thompson Pettis, UFC tonight? You can do it at MyBookie. It's one of the fastest growing books in the business. You can bet on Rough and Rowdy from Barstool Sports, all sorts of things going on at MyBookie. Make sure you support the show. And that's the big thing, guys. You want these shows to stay on, support the show by using the sponsor. Promo code MyBookie, promo code BMOC when opening your account. Get in the game with MyBookie now. Let's get back to the games here. Scott Brooks, thanks for support. Andrew, thanks for watching. David, Gary, Shane, Andrew, what's up? What's happening? Let's keep it going here. Wofford and Kentucky. This is the big one here. Wofford getting 5 total, 139.5 or 140. If you like the under, you want to look to bookmaker or bet online. They have 140. This is an interesting game here. Obviously, we have this Wofford group who, look, they're the darlings right now. They're a team that when you watch them, you have to be impressed. It's just that simple. Fletcher McGee is one of the best shooters I've ever seen at this level. The fact that he can just the way he contorts his body, can make shots is just unbelievable. No P.J. Washington, which, look, I got to be honest, I think that's a huge loss for Kentucky. He's a matchup problem if he's in this game. Problem is he's not in this game. And you have to wonder what's going on here. We heard it was precautionary. Now, he's only going to be out the Abilene game. Now he's out the Wofford game as well. What is going on here? It's bigger than I think we all were led on and thought. This is a Wofford team where you look at the way Kentucky matches up defensively. This isn't a good matchup. This is a team that I think can stretch them. I don't like Kentucky's three-point defense. I've talked about it. The closeouts are just terrible. This is a team where you're going to get stretched. And the great thing about Wofford you have to like is they're not just a shoot, three kind of team. This is a team that can bang down low. They can rebound the basketball. They can rebound right with Kentucky. And I think that's going to neutralize this game. They don't turn it over. There's a few things Kentucky don't do well. Three-point defense. They turn the ball over too much, and they don't have P.J. Washington. You have to ask yourself, though, and this is something we need to point out. Playing Seton Hall and Kentucky are two different things. Kentucky has some of the longest athletes in the country, and you have to wonder how that's going to affect Wofford. You look at the average height for Kentucky, 34th in the country. They're a huge team. Bench minutes about the same for these two. Keep in mind Washington out. So, look, to me, the best player in Kentucky is PJ Washington. You're taking him out of the game. I think Cameron Jackson's a bit more reliant around the cup with him out. And that hurts your bench as well. You can't go as deep. Look, I like what Storm Murphy did. I know early on he struggled a little bit with the press, but he's a pretty good point guard, a guy that you can trust with the ball in his hands. Hoover and McGee are terrific. Look, if you're going to give me 5 points here, I'll take them. I think this is a pretty decent matchup for Wofford, all things considered. I do have to say, though, look at this line. It's really kind of stayed where I think we thought. I mean, I think most people are going to take Wofford here. It'll be interesting to see by 2 o'clock where this line is. Does it move down to 4.5? We see it move up to 5.5. It's going to be pretty interesting. Obviously, though, you look at this. You look at the betting numbers for this game. 64% of the tickets on Kentucky. People still buying into Kentucky. Most bettors not believing in Wofford, and that could just be, okay, well, this is Wofford's where they meet their match. Not me. I'll take the points here. I think Wofford's good enough to hang around. I think they can win. It would not surprise me. Teams like this give Kentucky trouble. Kentucky just can't defend the three. It's that simple. Their closeouts stink, and this could get ugly if they don't close out. Let's do some comments here. Wofford's been due for a bad game since the non-conference. Yeah, but we don't – again, if you're trying to cap teams on when a bad game's going to happen, I'm not really sure that's a great way to handicap. My buddy played on Wofford. They can't hang with SEC teams. Okay, I mean, fair enough. I mean, again, this will not be a game on my premium card either. But I would take a shot. I think it's a pretty good matchup. Where is Wofford? Wofford is in South Carolina. People talking about Indiana. Listen, I don't have any opinion on the NIT game there. I couldn't care less. The other game, Lipscomb-Greensboro, I'll get to that a little bit later. What else do we have here? Florida and Michigan. Florida getting 6.5. Total is 123. Interesting game here. All these games are interesting, aren't they? We can't just say interesting game here. Look, Michigan, I've had my doubts about, but they're a tough team to bet against. It seems like every time you bet against Michigan, they seem like they have a can't miss. It was like that against Michigan State. Yeah, Michigan State was able to overcome it. But you look at how good this Florida team's been. They've really refined that offense. They're figuring out how to score from three. Hayes has been very good for them. I think he can neutralize the bigs for Michigan. Obviously, being in the SEC, he sees his fair share of bigs. Your Naz Reeds, he played, I thought, pretty well against those guys. This is a team in Florida that can handle the ball pretty well. I don't like Michigan from an offensive perspective. I just think Florida's playing too well to be getting this many points. I think if you look at it rate, as far as scoring rates and stuff, Michigan delivered the second highest 3-point scoring rate, which is interesting. I kind of have pause on that. I don't know. This is a game where I just think Florida's playing too well. I don't really have a ton on stats and trends or anything like that, but I like the way they're defending. They don't really allow a ton from three, Florida. I think this game's low scoring, comes down to the wire, 61-57, something like that. 63-60. I could see something like that. I just don't like Michigan enough offensively. And I think Florida's playing too well defensively right now, and too well as a whole to bet against. I'd love a 7 here. We're not going to probably see that, though. I don't think this number is going anywhere above 6.5, which hurts. Florida lost to Georgia by 1 million. Who cares about that? What does that matter? What was that, a month ago? That has absolutely no bearing on this game. What does that have to do with anything? I backed Florida a few times, and I've had a lot of success with them. This is a whole new tournament. This has nothing. What happened a month ago means nothing at all. Who does Michigan go to when they need a bucket? Easy, Charles Matthews or Xavier Simpson. But they're not a deep team, which hurts. That's going to be a problem as this tournament goes on. You got to have a little bit of depth to win games, and they just don't have it, Michigan. This is a team that ranks 350 in bench minutes. There's only 3 teams worse. 18% of their minutes come from the bench. What happens if you get in foul trouble? Where do you go? What do you do? Next one, Murray State and Florida State. Murray getting 4.5 here. Total is 149. Listen, simple. I'm going Florida State here, and I'm not even thinking twice about it. A lot of people will take Murray today. I think this line's too low. I think if you're taking Murray, you're getting shot out here. You should be getting a better number. This line's too low. First of all, you look at, again, the first game for Murray. They faced a team that worked for them. They were able to kind of just beat the supporting cast that Marquette had or didn't have. Marquette was, for large parts of the end of the season, was Marcus Howard, and that's it. And Murray just found a way to go on a run with a better supporting cast and found a way. They're not going to be able to do that here. Florida State's as deep as it gets. They're long as it gets. And in the OVC, you don't necessarily see a ton of teams like this. I think this is a team in Florida State that's just – you look how good they are from an adjusted defensive efficiency area. They're terrific as far as blocks, steals, all that sort of thing. They're just a long team. I like Morant. He's a great player. Look, if he can find a way to win this game, put his name in the record books, it's terrific. But this is a game where I think it finally comes to an end for Murray. You also look at – you're starting to see some 5s pop up, which is interesting. There's a large swath of the public on Murray, yet the line's going the other way or has gone the other way. To me, that's a bit of an indication that Florida State's going to win this game by double digits. I'm not seeing it here. I think this is a spot where, maybe for a little Murray hangs around, but the athleticism is going to be, I think, just too much for the Racers here. I don't see it. I don't see them hanging here. I'll take the big, Florida State can go 10, 11 deep. Exactly. Sean Higgs, what's up, pal? Good to see you. Met Sean down in Atlantic City. Nice to see him in here. He had a great day yesterday, I saw. Good for him. And that's a great point. Florida State will do what it did to Vermont. And again, that number was 8.5, 9. So again, look, if you're telling me I could get 8 points here at Murray, okay, but I'm not. I'm getting 4.5. The number's not high enough. It needs to be higher. And I think a lot of people are going to take Murray here. In fact, a lot of people are taking Murray here. So just don't fall into the trap. Yesterday, a good day for me, 2-0 on the premium selections. I had UCF and Buffalo, two teams that really didn't have a ton of trouble, which was very nice. It's always nice to get some of those easy rocking chair winners. But again, we're not gonna talk about the past. It's been a good week. Had a good week last week as well. Profitable. Again, guys, I don't get – look, I've had bad times in this tournament. I've had bad times in the season. I've had bad – it is what it is. Obviously, I'm not where I was last year. I was up, 40-plus units by this time. But, different years. We'll see how it ends up. We'll just keep firing away today, though. Thanks to anyone who was kind about that. People will blindly bet Murray and Wofford. Does it mean you fade one or both? Yeah, the matchups are the matchup. I think Wofford's got a good matchup. I don't think Murray State has a good matchup here. Let's keep it going. Baylor and Gonzaga. Gonzaga laying there's 113.5 still out there, but again, for the sake of the show, we'll go with 14 because that's the prevailing number here. There is still a 13.5 at Pinnacle. If you can bet at Pinnacle, they do have a 13.5. Numbers moving up. Of course it is. It's Gonzaga. We all know what they did the other night. But look, the other night and the past 2 months for Gonzaga, really, there's not a lot to look at there. Those teams are obviously not up to the level of Gonzaga. Obviously Baylor plays a zone. Can the Bulldogs shoot? Of course they can. But this is not a team I think that's very good defensively outside of that. We all know Gonzaga is not going to shoot 11% like they did against St. Mary's. I think the only way Baylor stays in this game is if they hit a ton of threes. They're not going to do that like they did in the first game. Or they shoot 47% from three, put up a lot of threes, and they shot well. Look, if they shoot that way tonight, they'll surely cover. And look, this is a step up. I mean, this is a much better team than really any team you've played since the non-conference for Gonzaga. Look, I have Gonzaga in the Final Four. I have them in the championship game. So for me, look, I'm just kind of concerned with them winning at this point. I don't have much in this game. I don't really like laying double digits in the round of 32 games. So I'm sorry, the round of to get into the Sweet 16. So I don't have a ton on this game. I don't really look at double digit numbers. I'd lean Gonzaga just because I don't trust Baylor to consistently make threes like they did the other night. I don't think they're a great defensive team. And Gonzaga has so many different ways they can beat you. I don't like the depth for Baylor either. I don't think there's a ton there. This team's lost a lot of talent to injuries, particularly a guy like Tristan Clark, who I think they could deal with. I know the bench, maybe on the surface they have numbers to come out and throw guys out there. But, again, Gonzaga's deep. Gonzaga's talented. And, look, I just don't really want to bet against them. They have the ability to bang out teams heavily. Thanks for watching, Zozo. Appreciate it. I think Makai Mason's injured. Yeah, he could be. He definitely could be. Please hit the like button, guys. Plenty of you in here. There's not many things that we ask of you. One of them is to just hit the like button. So please make sure you do that. As far as Mason being injured, he may be, but he's a tough kid. He'll find a way to be out there, and I don't think it really will hurt him a ton. Justin Robinson's banged up. You don't think Justin Robinson's not still injured a little bit? Of course he is. You go out and you play on you play on the fact that you're a hoops player and you like to score and you like to do things to help your team win. Couple more here. Minnesota, Michigan State. I was surprised at this number. Not sure I really see where these two teams are 10.5 points difference. Look, I like Michigan State. I like Nick Ward and Winston, but look, this team's banged up. No Aarons. Obviously, Langford's been out for a long time. These are two teams that know each other pretty well. We can point out, well, Michigan State won by 24 on February 9th, but these teams are different spots. This is a Minnesota team that's playing well. They obviously have the ability to know this team in Michigan State. Jordan Murphy playing well, Coffey playing well, Kalsher's playing well. They're shooting the ball well. This Bradley Braves team had some success forcing turnovers. Are they starting to wear down here a little bit, Michigan State? Look, if you're going to give me 10.5 points here, I'll take a shot with Minnesota. I mean, it seems like a lot in a Big Ten game in the NCAA tournament. It's been a long time since Michigan State's had a real bad game. You look at in conference, though, Minnesota, you got to the line a lot, which is something you got to do. Pretty decent defensively for the most part. Not great, decent. Again, this is not a game that I'll be betting on either. If I had to play it, though, I'd take the points and pray, as they say with this one. I like the way Coffey's playing in these games. Hit the like button, guys. Let's get this number up more and more. I don't really play a lot of totals in the NCAA tournament. It's Minnesota. What I don't talk like that. Sorry. We're all different the way we talk. It's Minnesota to me. We got two more. Sorry. Villanova, Purdue. Purdue laying 3. Total 138. Look, I said before this tournament started, I thought Villanova was kind of an undervalued team. Not a lot of people People kind of seem to forget about Villanova. I'm not really sure why, but they do. I don't like Purdue. I think this is where it ends for them. Do I know why? No, just kind of a feel for me. I think they are a team that you look at Purdue, fifth in the country in efficiency, but this Villanova defense, terrific. Both these teams, terrific defensively. I just don't know that I see 3 points difference between these two. I think it's kind of a toss up to me. I don't like Purdue's defense against the three. This team allowed 34% shooting from three this year. I think they were seventh in the Big Ten. I think Villanova can, if they can kind of get good, they're going to put up a ton of shots. That's what Villanova does from three. They're also very reliant on getting to the line. Two things that Purdue do pretty highly or at a high level. I think Villanova finds a way to win this game. I would take Villanova on the money line here. I'm not even worried about 3 points. I think they find a way, and I think they shoot their way into the Sweet 16. And we all remember and say to yourself, "Oh, Villanova's there. There's Villanova. How about that?" And yes, I will take Jay Wright over Matt Painter any day. Exactly, Garson Edwards. Really, all they have there. I just think. I don't know. I don't like him as a defender either. He's kind of brutal. One more. Auburn, Kansas. Auburn 2.5, total 147.5. I went over this game with Greg Peterson. Him and I both kind of like the under in this game. And that's kind of where I would go here. Auburn is starting to slow the tempo a bit more. They're very 3 point reliant. Kansas' defense was suffocating the other day against Northeastern. Look, I know people will say, "Oh, it's Northeastern," but Northeastern's a good offense. Their defense was fantastic yesterday. I think Ukiki and Horace Spencer can match up a bit with Dedrick Lawson. I think this game's played in the low 70s. I don't think it goes over. I think it's first to 70 wins. And I'm just not a big Auburn guy. I don't like Auburn or LSU. I just don't. They're too reliant on one thing. I like Kansas a little bit more from the ability to be a little bit more dynamic. I like the under. That's where I would go here if I had to play it. I would go under the number. I love the way Kansas played the other day. That was impressive. Great defensive work. Did a great job. By the way, I forgot to talk about this guy's 2-0 yesterday on the free picks here on the show. Gave out the under in the Georgia State Houston game. That was a winner. And we also gave out the Virginia Tech Hokies -10 against the St. Louis Billikens. Two winners. So if you played those yesterday, you cashed. Fun day for sure. If I had to give out a free play today, I would go with, let's see here. I would go with Wofford +5. Wofford +5. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. That's all the games, though. There's no more to talk about. Lipscomb looks pretty good today against UNC Greensboro. I think they're the better team. They'll be the other free play. I like Lipscomb against Greensboro in the NIT. The only thing that I think Greensboro has working for them here is they're at home. I think Lipscomb has something to prove in this tournament. I thought they'd make a run to the Sweet 16 if they got into the tournament. Now they have the ability to go win this tournament. I look at them from an offensive perspective. I think they're way better than Greensboro. I also think defensively they're better than Greensboro. This is a Greensboro team that I think at times can match up. Lipscomb's got to make sure they're not turning the ball over. This is a Greensboro team that's very opportunistic on defense, but I don't really see any metric that I like Greensboro better. The only thing is they're at home, which can obviously go a long way. But this was a team that was very average offensively all season. I think offense. And look, you look at Lipscomb, went on the road and beat Davidson. That's impressive. Put up 89 points in that game. I'll take Lipscomb. Pick them. Who is St. Joe's next coach? I would go with Matt Langle up at Colgate. I think he's a guy that would be perfect. He has a lot of connections. He's from Philadelphia. He lives in South Jersey. He doesn't live in – he used to live in South Jersey. Went to Penn, coached under Fran Dunphy at Temple. I think he'd be a perfect guy at St. Joe's. Thank God I found your channel. Can I ask why you're not at SBR anymore? I was looking for you. Well, I'm not at SBR anymore because they decided that they did, certain people weren't going to be on the channel anymore. They cut my show, The Right Side of Campus, which was probably one of the more successful shows they had there. And they decided that, they were sick of me. And look, I'll be honest, guys, and I've talked about this. I was pretty sick of them. I don't like the way the channel's going. And you can all see that the channel is pretty bad at this point. I mean, obviously, there's very little talent there. And there's a reason guys like, Low Shack are gone and I'm gone. And, look, I mean, at the end of the day, when you have listeners that were on your show giving picks out now, I mean, it's kind of hard to take it seriously. They're looking to advertise to a group of people like, that are, kind of, I get what they're trying to advertise for. They're advertising for books, so they have to be, a certain way to their listeners. I'm good. I mean, I'm doing my own thing now. And I got to be honest, guys, like I'm doing better than I was here than there. I mean, I did a lot for SBR. They never gave me any thanks for anything I did. I was always the guy for them when they needed somebody to fill in. I was there. I spent many summers, many family outings, leaving early to go do stuff for them. I remember Thanksgiving doing videos for them, leaving my family to do videos for them. I got nothing from them. They gave me no thanks. It was, hey, good, thanks for doing it. Is when they needed something, I had to jump and run. There are people there that have no idea how to run a business, no idea how to run media, and they know who they are. They're just playing in this business. They hire comedians and stuff to do content. I mean, come on. Want to bring in sports bettors. Want to bring people that actually bet and know what they're doing. But I'm not going to slander them. They are who they are. I don't really care anymore. I have my own show, and they do stuff like they're just that's all. There's nothing else to say about them. Thank you, Jeff Slaughter. Thanks for watching, Jeff Slaughter. Shout out to Jeff Slaughter, good guy there, doing some big things down in San Antonio. I covered every game but LSU Maryland. That's incorrect. I did LSU Maryland right at the beginning. You should listen to the show back. Exactly, Ramon. There's no need to admit it. I don't need, and you make a great point, and I'll lament on it now. I mean, they have 53,000 subscribers. I have 3,400, and I get more listeners than they do. I mean, that explains itself. SBR is just not loyal. I am. Sorry. I will say something that I wanted to bring up. Two things actually before we go. One thing is I've been watching Barstool's coverage, and I got to tell you, I think the electric chair at the book is terrific. It's really good. I will say this though, I was a little disappointed in not only Marty Mush but the office manager. I forget his name, the kid with the glasses. I was a little disappointed with their loyalty. I saw that Tommy Scabelli was kicked off one of the broadcasts. And now, listen, if my friend's Tommy Scabelli, right, and Tommy's on the broadcast and Portnoy kicks Tommy off, I'm not going to take Tommy's spot and sit down. I thought that was very disloyal by those two to do that. I would have said, yo, bro, no, that's my boy right there. I'm not taking his spot. I'm loyal to my friend. I thought that was pretty weak, but I'm a loyal guy. I wouldn't take my friend's spot. Look, if Donnie, me, and let's say Portnoy are doing a broadcast, and Portnoy says, Donnie, you're out of here. You and me, Jeff. I'd say I'm not going. No, I'm going with him. That's my friend. I'm not going to do that. I get you're working at a company and you got to make the boss feel happy, but I didn't like the loyalty there. Other than that, the coverage has been terrific. Big Cat, fantastic. Portnoy, fantastic. I think that's really good content. I think that's content that people want, and it's really good. A lot of people had talk about Michigan State's coach Tom Izzo. Look, if you have an issue with what he did, go fucking do something else, will you? That is absolutely disgusting that he had to explain himself. He did nothing wrong. He's coaching. That's how you coach. And all these millennials, and that's who it is, millennials that, and I know I'm a millennial, but all these fucking millennials that was, that wasn't, a way you coach. That's every way you coach. Some of these people are too soft. Pathetic. Disgusting. Settle down, BMOC. You can't hurt anybody's feelings anymore. I do it all the time, and I'm abrasive and I'm an asshole because I heard people say, listen, if you say something stupid and I see it, I'm going to call you out for it. It's that simple. We have to stop rewarding mediocrity and being nice to people. You got to be nice to people, of course. When people say something stupid, I'm not going to just sit back and let it happen. If you come on here and say Carson Wentz fucking stinks, I'm going to come on here and talk to you about, what the fuck are you talking about? That's stupid. Tim from Chicago checking in. Thanks for watching. Everyone gets offended, and I get offended. I'm not going to lie. I get offended with certain things. I get sensitive over certain things. But look, if you come in and you say something that's stupid, you're going to have to expect you have to expect some pushback. Listen, I'm not going to be, I'm a leader, man, not a follower. I'm not going to sit here and follow shit that I don't want to follow. I could have played the good guy and sat at SBR and, played the good role, because up until when I left there, they were still asking me to, send them in, ideas and all sorts of stuff. I was the idea at SBR. Without SBR, look at the channel. Look at me. Look at that channel without me and without Peter and without others. It sucks. Nobody cares about some of those guys' opinion. Some of those guys couldn't fucking hold my jockstrap. All those guys that are on those channels, with the exception of Ski Profit and King Rail, good guys. They know what they're doing. But outside of that, I mean, a lot of those guys were in my DM last year asking me for picks. I was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now all of a sudden, they're all fucking experts. They're big-time experts. Come on, man. Stop playing in this game. These are all the flavor of the week. None of you bet it. None of you even bet. None of you even bet. You'll just sit there, playing in this game. And when something else is cool, you'll go do that. Am I in the 80s, baby? Yes. 89. Just made it. I'm the last of the Mohicans, motherfucker. The last of the motherfucking Mohicans. I'm talking about everybody on that channel. All of them. Everybody. And they don't have to be on that channel. I'm talking about other channels that get 40 viewers and sit on the air for 7 hours. Come on, cuz. You're sitting on the air for 7 hours. You get 40 viewers. And 10 of them are you and your fucking group. Get out of here. Come on. I come on the air, I make money. I get 300 people in 30 seconds. Come on, man. All these guys. They all think they're fucking the handicappers. Get out of here, man. These are handicappers because it's a cool thing to do. You clout chase. You jump on people. You try to do your own thing. You're big handicappers. Come on, cuz. You were in my DM asking me for picks 6 months ago. I was the best thing. All these guys, Kobe Valentine, all these fucking clowns. They were all in my DM. I was the best thing that ever happened. Now I'm doing shit and they're not, and everybody's jealous. That's how it is. That's what it is now. When I go on the air, I make money. I don't sit here for the fucking thrill of victory. It's just that simple. All these people, none of them make any fucking money doing this. None of them. going to do a 7-hour show and you get 60 views. 60. What is the point? What the hell are you doing? What are you doing with yourself? 7 hours on the air. You get 60 viewers. Wouldn't you say to yourself, maybe it's time that I don't do this anymore? Like, that's amazing. That's amazing, man. All right, guys. Let's if you guys have any other overall questions in college basketball, feel free to throw them out. I will gladly answer them. Uh, oh man, thank you, my friend DJ One Mike, retweeting the show. Thank you, my friend. DJ One Mike, you and I got to get in touch with each other. DJ One Mike lives so close to me, and I haven't seen him. Maybe once the season's over, we can link up. What else do we have here? Any other comments? But yeah, so that's it, guys. I'm not going to be talking about that shit anymore. We kind of had this all started because someone asked why I wasn't at SBR. I've talked before about it. My goal over the next 2-3 weeks is to really limit my spotlight. I'm going away, guys. I'm going to do one show a day. That's all you're going to see from me. Kind of like how I've done it now. I don't care anymore about all this shit in the business. I mean, it's either you have guys that are just doing this because it's cool, and then you have these guys on Twitter that nobody will take their bet. They're so sharp, no one will take their bets. Every casino has banned them. There's little support to back that up, but they say it. I'm feared by every bookmaker on the East Coast, every bookmaker on the West Coast. No book in Vegas to take my action. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yet they're the only ones saying it. There's little to no documentation to back up that they say what they say. It's just one to another. It's just you either have guys that have no business talking about sports, and then you have guys that can't talk about sports and all they talk about is how great they are. There's no middle. I'm the middle. That's what I am. I'm the middle. I don't give a fuck about none of those people that have all this money. They don't fucking. I don't care. Couldn't give a fuck. And then you have these guys that I don't really need to care about because they're no threat to me. So we can face the music, or we can pretend. I'm no great big better, but I'm not nobody either. The truth of the matter is, hate me, whatever you want. When I go on the air, I make money. I've made this show profitable off of just me, only me. I'm taking meetings with people that are big in the business because of who I am and what I've been able to do. That's because of me. I never clout chased nobody. I never did nothing. When SBR came to me, nobody watched SBR. I made SBR what they are. Before they had me, they didn't have the subscribers they have. I do all this for me. I don't care about fame or any of that shit. I don't even want that. I just want to sit in my fucking lane and do what I do. I'm not. Then you have these guys that they're touts, right? They're handicappers, and they make all this money handicapping and this and that. It's just there's never anything in the middle. There's no one in the middle. There are very few in the middle, actually. Was beating the bookie a good dude? Yeah, I only talked to him for about 5 minutes. And to be honest, I was surprised he came up to me. Him and I have had some negativity in the past. He blocked me, actually. But no, he was very nice, actually. He came up to me. We were in the line at Ocean Resort. He came up, said hello. We talked for a while about some things, and then I didn't see him again. I didn't see him the rest of the trip. I don't know if he was still there, but yeah, he was very nice. Very nice guy. What else do we have here? Thank you, 2 Chains. Very kind. Thank you, Andrew. What do I think of VSiN? I think VSiN's. I think there are talented people there. Like Matt Humans, really talented. Greg, talented guy. But outside of that, I don't. I don't really. I don't. I don't. I'm not really interested. I think they're just boring. I mean, you got to have some personality. Nobody cares about stories from 1970 and when you hit a big slot machine. Nobody cares. Nobody lives like that. Nobody lives like the people you have on there. You have these guys on there that are casino host. Nobody cares about that shit. Give me picks. Give me stats. Give me info. I don't care about when you smelled Magic Johnson's armpits in 1970. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about that stuff. Nobody cares about made up stories. Who cares? Give me real shit. Give me picks. Give me stuff that actually matters. Nobody cares. People want to be treated like they're you, okay? And we're all the same here. And that's one of the reasons I think Gabe Morency's, made his own niche in this business because he's like everyone else. He does and that's where like the Barstool guy. They're exactly like we are when we watch games, and they people like that. Gabe Morency, he bets everything, and so do we. That's why people like that. They're wholesome. They're genuine. I don't need to put on some stupid. I don't have to have my hair done. I don't have to talk about fucking this and that. Listen. For instance, strippers. I hear people talk about strippers. I don't need to talk to strippers. I have a beautiful girl that's better looking than any stripper, and I don't have to pay her to hang out with me. I've never been to a strip club in my life. I don't need to. I don't need to do that. I have personality, and I treat girls right. That's why I have one that's a fucking 12. People are they're just living a world that just doesn't exist. I don't know where these people, like, who taught them this shit and like when they started acting like this, but like, what world are you living in? Like, what world are you people living in? Like, I'm who I am. I ain't changing that. I'm just, I break the games down. We talk, we have fun. And that's that. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. Yeah, I always enjoy talking with Gabe and Cam Stewart and Joe and all those guys. Great guys. Appreciate them having me on. It's always fun. What else do we have here? Thank you, Zozo. Appreciate it. Hey, listen, the truth hurts, people, I also saw, and we'll be on for another 5 minutes or so here, guys. I saw there's a new show coming on Showtime called Action. Now, first of all, one of the main characters is Vegas Dave on Sia. So there you go. That we're gonna do a show about sports betting, and we're gonna have Vegas Dave on. So there you go. So first of all, they have to try to sell that to me, okay? Because I've been in this business for a long time, and I know pretty much everybody. So that's the first thing. Vegas Dave is the main character, which I don't know. I mean that's almost all you need to know about that documentary. Kelly in Vegas, she was always very nice to me. I don't know much about Kelly in Vegas from a handicapping perspective. I know she's a good proxy, which I give her a lot of credit for. And she's always very nice to me. I have nothing to say about her. I think she's probably a good ambassador to the business. And yeah, I don't know much about her. I've done a few shows with her at SBR. She was very nice whenever I did those. So I understand that. Bill Krakenberger. I mean, I guess he's someone I need to know who he is. I asked him to do an interview with me, and he said he didn't respond. I would love to interview him, and I want to interview him the way I interview him. I want to ask him the questions that people want to hear. I'm not just going to fluff him up because supposedly he's some big time gambler. I don't know much about him. He's come out of the woodwork recently. I'm not sure why he would do that. If you're a gambler and you make a ton of money betting, why are you kind of coming? Like, if I was a millionaire doing this, you'd never see me again. I wouldn't be anywhere near this shit. I don't want to be around it. Bill Krakenberger, where's the proof? I mean, where's the proof that he actually is who he says he is? I'm not saying he isn't. I just, you know, can he talk about games? Because that's what people want, you know, right? Like anyone can go on the internet and say, oh, I make tons of money, I move lines, and I'm feared, you know? Okay, well, is there any proof? Or is, yeah, next year I'm going to be the president, guys. Okay, well, that seems like a pipe dream, but it's gambling, check it out, see what it is. Yeah, look, but nobody really cares about Vegas vets. No one cares about those old relics. No one cares what they do. No one cares what they're doing. They're old news. Nobody cares about those guys. Nobody cares about stories from the 70s. No one cares about, how you used to bet in 1980. Nobody cares about that. Nobody respects that. No one cares. Move on. Again, we're going back to it. We're in the we're in the pipe dream phase. Everybody is feared and nobody wants to take their action and they're all great. They have connections. Who cares? What does that matter? I started doing this when I was 19. Nobody knew who I was. Nobody. I went to Texas this year for the Final Four and people knew who I was. I mean, that's self-made, bro. But who cares? I'm just talking about shit going on in the business. Completely random question. Who is the biggest gambler? It was Billy Walters. Billy Walters ain't around anymore, though. Billy Walters is the only real one, man. That's that's the OG right there. Billy Walters, man. I don't need access to no one. I don't give a fuck, man. I couldn't give a fuck. Going to casinos for making bets. It's not for being some fucking, big celebrity. I don't care about that. When I go to the Ocean Resort, people come up to me and say hello. That's all I need. I like to meet people and chat with them, about their life. I don't care. I'm not trying to be some famous guy. I don't care about the, all, I gotta show everybody I bet big. I don't care about that. If you're real sharp and you're really doing this shit, you don't need, recognition. You wouldn't come out of the woodwork. Like that guy Bill. Like what is he trying to what is the point of that? If you're making so much money, you have millions of dollars on the table during a day of betting. Why are you coming out of the woodwork? Like what's the point of that? I don't know. It seems like you're just trying to get paid like all of us. All right, guys, here. Well, I'm out of here. We went over all the games. We talked a little bit. You all have a great day. I appreciate you watching. Um, Listen, here's the big point of what I just said. If you're doing something, you're not getting 100% out of it, you shouldn't be doing it. You know, if you're doing something and you're treading water, what are you doing it for? Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that. Yeah, that guy's. I'm questioned on that guy, Ramon. I don't buy that guy. I don't buy his act. I don't know who he is or where he came from or like what he's trying to do. Like I don't buy that guy. I just don't. I don't know where he came from. He seems just like the flavor of the week to me. So I don't know. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a great day. Thanks for checking me out. As always, make sure you supported the sponsor, my bookie. Use promo code BMOC. Get yourself a Nice little bonus for signing up, and you're supporting us here. Thanks for doing that. I'll be on tomorrow, same time, same place. You have a great day. I'm out of here.